How's it going, everybody? I am Jason of Jason's Drama here, and today I am here bringing you guys a Week 6 recap for the 2022 NFL season. Now, last week, in terms of predictions, I went 8-6, HD went 4-10, PDF went 9-5, and David went 6-8. So I will put current total standings right up here, so you can see where we all stand. And at this point, we'll just go ahead and jump right into this. So for Thursday Night Football, we had the Washington Commanders beating the Chicago Bears 12-7. It was a great game of defense. I mean, the Washington Commanders defense was huge on the goal line. Anytime that the Bears were able to get close, the defense was able to shut down the Bears offense. And Chicago was unable to get the last inch they needed to get the win. And they came close, but that Bears offense was just flat all game. Up next, we got the San Francisco 49ers falling to the Atlanta Falcons 28-14. Atlanta, they had a hot start, fell apart later in the first half and early second half. San Fran was able to get moving after a slow start, but the injuries are killing them. And at the end, Atlanta was able to readjust for the second half and lay the beat down on San Francisco. Up next, we got the New England Patriots whooping the Cleveland Browns 38-15. Bailey Zappi keeps going strong. I think he's the guy going forward for the Patriots. And I'm honestly scared because we've seen this story before. I hope he's not the second coming of Brady. He shouldn't be the second coming of Brady. But we don't know. I mean, Zappi's looking really good coming off the bench and just dominating. Cleveland was able to keep it close in the first half. But the Patriots just blew open the door in the second half to just win it. Up next, we got a big upset of the week. The New York Jets toppling the Green Bay Packers 27-10. Green Bay was unable to find any offense. Aaron Rodgers had a decent stat line. I mean, he had over 200 yards, 0 wins, and a touchdown. But he did take a couple sacks, and the Jets defense was able to suffocate him. And it was just an insane game to keep following throughout that day. Up next, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars falling to the Indianapolis Colts 34-27. This game we did stream. Indy was able to barely escape with that win. They should have won bigger, but they kept shooting themselves in the foot with penalties. They were able to make some adjustments in the second half after complete domination by the Jags in the first half. And yeah, it's just a complete collapse by the Jags, and the Colts made the right adjustments. Up next, we got the Minnesota Vikings beating the Miami Dolphins 24-16. Minnesota was able to keep strong and be able to lead early. They were strong enough to do well, and they were able to come up big despite their choking efforts because they almost choked it to Miami. Meanwhile, Miami, the offense looked flat without Teddy or Tua. Thankfully, they're going to be getting Tua next week against the Steelers. They should have an easy win on that one, assuming the Steelers defense doesn't go off like they did this week. Up next, we got the Cincinnati Bengals beating the New Orleans Saints 30-26. A high-scoring game, and surprisingly, I mean, nobody really expected this game to go off the way it did. The Cincinnati defense was unable to hold up, but they were able to come up clutch when they needed to. Meanwhile, the Saints came close. They were able to get a 4th and 23 or whatever it was, and draw a penalty to get a first down. But that was it. The Saints just weren't able to finish. Up next, we got the Baltimore Ravens falling to the New York Giants 24-20. It was a slow start for both teams, but once Baltimore got a touchdown, it opened up floodgates for both teams. The Ravens' offense was stingy, the offense was strong. Sorry about that. They weren't stingy. The offense was strong, but they were unable to really get a lot of points on the board in the first half. Meanwhile, in the second half, the Giants were able to take advantage of the fact that the Ravens just choked games away in the second half anymore. And they were able to just come up with the big win. They would go to 5-1. Now in the lead, or actually in second place, of the NFC East. Up next, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers falling to the Pittsburgh Steelers 20-18. The Pittsburgh goal line defense was really strong throughout that game. It was really impressive. I think they only gave up, one touchdown near the goal line that whole game. And the Bucs were down there 3 or 4 different times. Pickett looked solid until, concussion. And Trubisky was able to fill in his role to a strong extent to be able to, just hold the game and not blow it. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay just struggled. They looked flat. Brady wasn't happy with his offensive line. and it was just a mess. Up next, we got the Los Angeles Rams beating the Carolina Panthers 24-10. Surprisingly, we didn't see Sam Darnold. I thought we were going to see Sam Darnold at quarterback, which is why I highlighted him as a player to watch. But even without Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield, they were just unable to get anything going after the first quarter. Meanwhile, Stafford, he had an alright day, but the Rams rushing game was able to get things going, especially with Ben Skowronek getting his first NFL touchdown on an end-around. Up next, we got the Seattle Seahawks beating the Arizona Cardinals 19-9. The Cards' offense was flat, run-heavy, and next to no successful pass game. Arizona, they're not the real deal anymore because they did drop some games they should have easily won. Now, they did pick up Robbie Anderson, and D-Hop is going to be back next week, potentially. But those two receivers are only going to have 3 days to get into the system because they play Thursday night. And Geno and the Seahawks, they were able to continue their role and just keep on cruising to 3-3. Surprisingly not last in the division. Up next, we got a great game. The Buffalo Bills beating the Kansas City Chiefs 24-20. It was a good game on both fronts. The Bills' defense was able to come up big at the end of the game when needed and get a game-winning interception. But Kansas City did look solid in that game, so I would not count them out, and I don't think I lowered them in the power. They didn't fall in the power rankings at all. Hint, hint for tomorrow's video. Up next, we got Sunday Night Football, where PDF really was a POD, or a PDF. Pessimistic Dallas fan was a pissed-off Dallas fan. The Eagles winning 26-17. Philadelphia was on fire in the first half, but they were not able to keep it going in the second half on offense. Dallas made the right adjustments. They were able to see what they needed to do and, be able to come up big. But the big storyline is that the Eagles are the last undefeated entity and still 6-0, the only undefeated team in the NFL. And the Eagles are looking legit, but the question is, how legit are they? That whole NFC East, despite the fact that division has the most wins in football right now, they have the 4 teams in that division, each have the 4 weakest schedules. So we'll see if that's a trend or if that's just a fluke. And finally, we have Monday Night Football between the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers winning this one 19-16 in overtime. The Chargers offense was slow to start, but able to close and get the job done when needed. And the kicker for them, Dustin Hopkins, I think it is, he got injured on his first PAT of the night, or first field goal kick of the night, but he was able to fight it through, going down hard after every kick thereafter, but he was able to tough it out and get the win. Meanwhile, it looks like Denver cannot win in primetime, or win big at least. They can't put a good game out on primetime. They've played 4 primetime games. They've won one of them. It was the 11-10 game against the Niners. Meanwhile, they've lost the other 3 in not so good fashion. But yeah, that's all I got to say about all these games for this week. If you guys are liking what you're seeing, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We are going to be releasing a public Discord server here at 200 subscribers. And also a big shout out to anyone who came into that stream last night for Monday Night Football between the Broncos and Chargers. That was an awesome night. We kept pulling people everywhere. It was awesome to get to interact with y'all, and we did end up gaining 3 subscribers last night. So thank you guys for that. And with that, I will see you guys. We'll see you guys maybe tonight, potentially over on Twitch for a just chill stream. I will definitely make a quick little video over here if that does end up being the case. And I will link it in the description if it does come to fruition. But otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow for our power rankings. Peace out and have a good one.